Okay, we are here. We are live. Alhamdulillah. Bismillah. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Excuse me for that. Yes, my dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. First of all, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you for this first live session of MCMC public addressing that we have embarked upon after we got physically disconnected. We are trying to get connected virtually from here. I'd like to invite each and every one of you. And also, I would like to encourage every one of you to take advantage to know what's going around and from your MCMC community-wise and management-wise, what's going on. Take advantage of this. These sessions will be continuing to happen every Sunday at 8 p.m. for now, until further change for whatever reasons. But weekly, there will be updates where you'll be hearing what's going on and also getting an opportunity to ask questions and get it answered if they are available, or we will get back to you. So thank you for joining, and I welcome entire community, MCMC community, brothers and sisters. This is the first MCMC Management Public Live address to the community. We want to establish this connection when there is a temporary suspension by the corona situation. We want more and more people to be connected this way, inshallah. And alhamdulillah, this I think is the best use of the technology that we can put in. Let's take advantage of this. As a first public address that we are doing on behalf of MCMC management, I would like to encourage every person to stay safe and take maximum precautions and not to take chances, because this thing, whatever is out there, is not worth taking chances. Also, when such tests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala come, the first area that gets affected is the households. So we also learned that there was a 20% surge in unemployment applications. So we decided to dedicate this first PA system, that's a public address system, to our community, dedicated just for this reason, for the whole situation. Alhamdulillah, we have a set of decent amount of funds set aside to take care of this situation. And we encourage those who in need not to hesitate to apply if they are in need. These applications will be kept confidential, as we have always been. So going forward, I will come back to more information to be provided by MCMC, but at this point, by not delaying, MCMC has taken this platform to help those in need seriously, and we have been behind the scenes working diligently how to provide this information and make sure these funds are accessible to those who are in need. So we are coming up with different ways, techniques, and changing our way, the style of how we work. And we have also educating our employees how to cope up with this situation and make sure our employees are safe, they're staying at home, and at the same time, we are also fulfilling that which we can do as much as possible by helping those in need. So I would like to now turn on this microphone and the video to Brother Omar, who I think everyone knows Brother Omar Klobasista. For those who don't know, he's a medical doctor by profession. He's in our community for a long time. He served in Anur board for quite some time, and now he is in Shura. He is leading Zakat committee, and he's going to educate us. He's going to educate us as how-tos, especially like how do you fill up the application, how can you submit, and how to get a feedback and all that stuff. Inshallah, he will be giving an introduction for that. Once he is done, we will be giving some time for question answers for the community to ask, and there is a public chat box on the right side. If anyone has any questions, you can type your questions there, and it depends on where it falls. Either me or Brother Omar will actually try to answer them, inshallah. Brother Omar, it's your turn.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, bismillah, walhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala nabina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the reality is, just what Brother Dian said, is that, you know, we have a lot of people that are being hit hard financially by this crisis. And the issue here is that we don't want them to wait and make the crisis or their financial burden much harder. So when they have the opportunity, we want them to come forward. We did set aside money from the Zakat fund for them specifically. We want to help our local community. MCMC is very involved, and we've had multiple meetings talking about how we're going to help the local community, specifically the brothers that are close to us and close to them. But that's not limited just to them. So anyone else who you And so a link which you can download the actual form, and then you can attach the documents that are needed so that you can make your application go through. And then you'll have someone contact you, and they will, everything, like Brother Dan said, is confidential. And then it's that simple. Once you fill out the form, the person will contact you, and then you will discuss the specifics. And then most likely you'll get a check in the mail. So in addition to that, you know, that is the process for everyone that needs to apply. And please, again, we don't want you to hesitate for applying, and others who know people that are in need, we don't want them to wait, because in these desperate times, what happens is people think that they want to delay, or they're expecting, you know, something that might occur. But we would rather you come forward sooner than later, because we don't want you to put yourself in a situation where you start borrowing money from creditors and then start paying interest using credit cards, you know, falling behind on rent and falling behind on your bills. So we'd rather you come forward sooner, so this way we can help you out, and this way you can, you know, basically benefit from the community itself. And now, to address the brothers who are watching who usually want to wait till Ramadan to pay their zakat, I am telling you that, my dear brothers and sisters, please do not wait to pay your zakat during the month of Ramadan. If you can, we would wish that you would pay it sooner than later, and I mean now. And you have all the links. We have all the links on the MCMC website for where you can submit your zakat funds. And, you know, it would be very beneficial for the whole community. It will help us in determining how much longer we can keep up with these applications. And we also, it'll make us feel a lot better in the sense that, you know, when the people come, we don't want to be stingy. You know, if they have a dire need for certain things, that we want to fulfill those needs. So please, my brothers and sisters, I don't want you to wait to pay your zakat during the month of Ramadan. If you have zakat and you want to help the community members, and I am asking you, then pleading with you, that you should send your funds as soon as possible, so this way we can distribute it to those who are in need within the community. And we don't want to prolong this, you know, we wanted to make it short and brief so that everybody understands the message, and we want to leave some time for question and answer. So if anyone has any questions, they can chat, they can send the questions through, so this way we can answer whatever questions anyone might have. Go ahead, Brother Dan, if we'll wait for the questions, inshallah. So there's a little bit of a lag, so I don't want to, we're not ignoring the questions. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat, inshallah.
Yeah, while the questions are coming in, I will try to brief up some other information while we wait for some questions. So MCMC has taken this road to get connected to the community, and MCMC has trying to put some programs which can spiritually elevate us, and as we used to do always, and also give information as to what the decisions going forward are. So few things that are happening. I'll stop if there was a question, and then I'll continue. So one question I got was how to apply for zakat and sadaqah. Well, Omar, it is a how question, so.
Okay, so for applying for the zakat, there's a form online, right? If you go to the MCMC website, there is an actual form that can be completed, and actually we are trying to make it into a simpler form so that you can do it directly online. But for now, you would have to download the form. After you download the form, you would follow the instructions on the form, and you would send it back to us via email with the proper documentation that goes along with it, and then someone will call you. Is that understood? If you have any other, you can, if there's anything that you do.
How do they send the form? Like,
so they can send the form right now. You would download the form. You download the form. After downloading the form, you can send it via email with the proper documentation, or if you want, you can, which we probably don't want that. If you want, you can drop it off at the masjid, but you'd have to make sure that someone is there, because the masjid, as you know, is closed for now. You would have to make sure that someone is there to take the actual form and the documents.
What is the email address, brother? You can send?
So the link is on mcmcnj.org. So we have a link there. You can go straight to the website. And if you don't have access, for brothers and sisters who don't have access or not good with the computer, you can always come pick up a form from the masjid, a hard copy. We have them with Brother Salman at the front.
We have another question that says, what are the office hours to drop off the form?
Okay, so the key thing here is the staff that's at the masjid, you know, you would have to contact, we'd call the masjid. So this way they have specific hours, so we don't want to keep them there all day. But usually it's from Dhuhr, right? They will be there at least from Dhuhr all the way until Maghrib.
Or we can even try to put a Dropbox, some kind of a thing there. We can think about it, inshallah.
Inshallah, we prefer, these are only for if you cannot. If there's an issue with mailing it, you know, the most important thing is that you give us your contact information, because if you give us your contact information, we'll get back to you and we can make arrangements, even if we need someone to purchase from your home, right? I can always come pick it up. But the question here is that, you know, the most important thing is that you let us know who you are, give us your contact information, so this way we can get to you.
Sorry, it's me again asking the question. So how long, if someone submits a form, how long do you think it's going to take?
So usually it will take about a week, but it depends on how many forms we get. If we get too many requests, then it'll take a little bit longer. And sometimes if it's something that is very desperate, we will expedite it, but I cannot give you a specific time. I cannot tell you that it's going to be done in 2 or 3 days. You know, but the question here, as you know, it all depends on how many applications we have to process.
Oh, someone posted the question that I actually asked just now.
Yes.
So, any other questions from anyone else on this line? So, another question I have is, well, probably me asking this question is going to be informative to someone who's actually going back and looking at the video again. We can ask people who have these questions to go and refer to this video, which is actually good. So, other question I have is, what is the limit? Is there a limit on the amount that I apply?
Of course, there's a limit, but the thing is that we're not going to discuss numbers on this chat. But there is definitely a limit. We cannot, because obviously we're going to be fielding a lot of applications, and we want to make sure that everybody gets their due, their right, right. So the question here is, we need to understand that we cannot, deplete all funds just with a few applications.
Agreed.
So another question is that some brothers always ask, do needy people have to be from our immediate community? So if there's people within Piscataway or Edison or Somerset that need help, you can always encourage them to apply. But if you know other people that are further away, you can also encourage them to apply. But usually when we contact them, we want to make sure that this is a legitimate case. So that's why, if you're within the community and you can vouch for someone that is further away, right, then, fine, it's not a problem. But, at the same time, we don't want to field applications coming from Texas or coming from Tennessee for people that we don't know who they might be. So we want someone that it will be legitimate cases within our communities, or even neighboring communities, or people that other members of our community can vouch for.
Is there like a required documentation that in order to process?
So there is, the required documentation is, there's going to be two minimum documents that you have to submit. Number one is a social security card and a photo ID. This is the minimum. This is the bare minimum. But, you have to, the question is, people always ask, why do you need my social security card? So the social security card will be destroyed right after, we submit the check. It is not something that we use to report. It is not saved. But the thing is that we just need to prove that you are someone that is authorized to be in the United States, because we cannot give charity to people that are illegally staying in the United States. It would put this institution in jeopardy.
Great question. I'm still looking for questions to arrive. I don't have any questions coming in right now. So let me proceed. Let the questions pile up when they come, then I can again turn it back. For now, let me continue with some more updates from MCMC. There are a few things that are happening on it. There will be daily khatiras. There will be daily talk, small talk on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. and a Friday program. So that will be also online, and keep looking for WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, all these in places for the daily khatiras that are happening and what time and who and what are the subjects are. They will continue to have the weekend youth khatira. On Sundays we used to have, and today actually we had one which was very good. It was by Brother Musa on Blessing in Disguise. And we'll also continue. We're also planning to have a Welcome Ramadan program. This is also under plan, and the logistics of how we do Ramadan and how it's going is right now we cannot answer any of those kind of situations. But in general, there will be a Ramadan program, and though we come to MCMC, we have a public gathering or not, but we are still there. Ramadan is there, and we'll be fasting, and the programs for Ramadan will occur. And doctors in our community, including Brother Omar, who's here, they are planning to have a program on Thursday, March 26th, just like a live program as it's happening now. So that's another opportunity for the community to ask questions to the doctors and get answers for anything that's there in their mind. Then also we are planning to have to check on the community seniors, some of our community elders who are living around either by themselves, husband and wife, or with their family, doesn't matter. We'll be checking on community elders. We have formed a list. If any of you know any senior who's out there all by himself or herself, or even in a family, it doesn't matter, please send us the contact information at info@mcmcnj.org. You can send contact information. We can by phone, or we'll try to reach out to them and on a regular basis try to see how they're doing, asking if they need any help. There are volunteers who want to help around that area and play as well under the guidance of the doctors and others in this community. And there are weekly MCMC administrative updates that actually it's happening today. So we'll continue to have these updates as well, where community will have an opportunity to post questions and get things answered from the management side. That's pretty much on this. So alhamdulillah.
So just to recap on my side. So just to recap for everyone who's watching, so they understand what's going on. So this was just an informative session to explain to the community that number one, we are actively searching and actively giving out funds for those who are being affected financially by this crisis. And also we are pleading with our local community or anyone who's watching this or anyone who needs to pay zakat to donate to MCMC. The way that they can donate is you go straight to mcmcnj.org. You can donate directly online. So you do not have to come in. You do not have to even mail the check. You can just click on the link and donate directly. And let me tell you, believe me, the people that are in need, they are, number one, you should, if you meet them, they're so shy to even ask, and subhanAllah, they're in dire need. There are people that are so shy, they feel like we should give the money to someone else, but they themselves are in need. This is the humility that they have. And when they receive the check, they're so grateful, and they're so happy. So it's not something, I want you brothers and sisters to understand that this is something that you're really helping our neighbors, helping our local community, helping our brothers and sisters, especially in this time of difficulty. We have so many brothers and sisters that are affected by this calamity. Many people are out of work. Many people are in the service industry, so they won't be able to do the things that they normally would do, especially with the lockdown. And it looks like it might even get worse. Who knows how more strict the rules will come. So please be generous in your donations to the zakat funds, so this way we can reach out to these people and help them in this time of need. Jazakumullahu khair.
Yes, just to add to what Brother Omar just said, even on the screen right now, on the top right, there is an eye icon. If you click that, you could see a donation link that will actually take you to a general donation website at MCMC, which is mcmcnj.org/donate. So you can even go directly to that website, to that page, and pick your choice of donation and donate. Or you can, even while the session is going on, you can find out what the donation link is by clicking on that icon on the top right. So you would all know, from the donation perspective, I'd like to mention, Brother Omar mentioned already about donating for zakat and sadaqah. You don't have to wait for Ramadan and all that. But at the same time, I would also like to keep you informed that because our Jummah is closed, one of our major revenue generating day, where we generate about between $2,000 to $2,500 on that particular week on Jummah. As you know, we post this information on our notice board for everyone to see. This is not gone to a minimum or less. This has disappeared completely. So please take on Jummah, as you donate cash when you walk by to exit that you go, you can use that. You can continue to do so by donating online. So you can go to mcmcnj.org/donate. You would see a link for operations. You can donate there, where that will be used for. But our operation expenses have not gone down. Our payroll is still in process, and the supplies that we buy, the cleansing and the cleaning supplies, and calling outside people to sanitize the masjid as and when needed, and the rest of the expenses that used to happen are continuing to happen. Of course, certain expenses might have gone down a little bit, but our in general operations are continuing as we are trying to serve the community. So keep both of these things in your mind: the operations, which is also badly hit, and zakat and sadaqah, as Brother Omar has mentioned, as he has emphasized. Brother Omar, I don't see any more questions coming. What do you recommend?
I wanted to just to touch base on, obviously we were talking about the zakah and sadaqah, right? But I want to also emphasize that, for those people that are thinking, well, how much can I donate? They're thinking maybe that whatever they donate is not enough. Whatever you donate it's something that you will see on the mizan on Yawm al-Qiyamah. This is something that you will see on the scales on the day of judgment, the day of accountability. So I don't want you to belittle, or don't want you to even think twice about donating any amount. any amount. I don't want you to let the shaitan play with your mind and say, who will donate this small amount? There's no such thing as a small amount. Every single cent, every single penny, every single thought that you are having about donating to help your brothers and sisters, this is something that's going to be this is something that's going to be held to account on Yawm al-Qiyamah. This is something that is going to be of benefit to you in this dunya and akhirah, for you and your family, and for our community as a whole. So please, I want you, don't let the shaitan play with your mind, don't let the shaitan play with your soul. When it comes to donation, just give whatever you can give, and do not hesitate to give. Jazakumullahu khair.
Okay, so I think because there are no more questions coming, what I would like to conclude with by saying is that if anyone who's watching this video, after watching, they have any more questions, don't hesitate to send an email and ask to zakat@mcmcnj.org on zakat sadaqah questions. Or if you don't follow that email, then you can send email and ask to info@mcmcnj.org, which we will inshallah forward it to the zakat committee as well. So whoever is watching this, jazakumullah khair for giving time and being connected. لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما